This is going to sound insane, but hear me out. The very thing you think is protecting you, that quick, white-hot burst of anger, that immediate shutdown of fear, the reflexive, snarky comment, is scientifically designed to destroy your future decision-making. You have a 3-minute window, and if you miss it, your brain literally locks the door, cementing an overreaction. What if I told you that the only way to win an argument, de-escalate a fight, or make the right call under pressure is to do the one thing your body screams at you not to do? It's not about breathing. It's about a chemical hijack and 3 counterintuitive steps that bypass your survival instinct. The science and the stakes. When you get triggered, you're not dealing with the issue. You are facing 10 million years of evolution. The amygdala, that almond-shaped alarm bell, dumps a catastrophic cocktail of cortisol and adrenaline. Here's the key. It happens faster than your prefrontal cortex. Your logical brain can load up. This is called amygdala hijack. In the critical window, it's 3 minutes, sometimes less, before that initial wave of chemicals cements into a stress response memory. You are not just reacting. You are actively programming a future overreaction loop. The generic advice? Just take a deep breath. It's useless. Breathing is too slow, too easy to ignore. We need a faster pattern interrupt that short-circuits the system. Think of the worst, most regrettable text message you've ever sent. Now imagine if you could pause just long enough to see the landmine before you stepped on it. The first step isn't stopping the emotion, it's stopping the physical reaction to the emotion. You need to create cognitive friction. Actionable step 1. The fight-or-flight system is fast, but it's binary and easily confused. We must introduce complexity to stall the hijack. The first counterintuitive step is the 10-second physical stop. When the heat hits, you do not talk, you do not move. You immediately focus on a ridiculously trivial, completely unrelated physical task for precisely 10 seconds. Don't breathe, don't walk away, that's avoidance, and your brain knows it. Anchor yourself to the moment. Example. Look at the nearest digital clock and calculate the sum of the digits in reverse order. Or trace the precise texture of your thumbnail with your pointer finger, not just touching it, but feeling the grooves. It's silly, it's disruptive, and that is the point. This non-emotional cognitive task forces your prefrontal cortex to activate and draw critical resources away from the runaway amygdala. It's a literal chemical firewall. It's the micropause that prevents the macro consequence. But stopping the reaction is only phase 1. How do we prevent the relapse and the subsequent guilt spiral? The next step involves rewriting the very script your internal voice reads from. Actionable step 2. Most people describe their trigger using maximalist language, anger, rage, or fear. They use generic, high-voltage words. This is the vocabulary trap. Your brain takes its language cues from you. Saying "I am furious" fuels the fire and reinforces the survival response. The relabeling rule. You must use a low-impact word for the emotion you're experiencing. You're not furious. You're frustrated with the lack of clarity. You're not stressed. You're experiencing elevated anticipation. A 2018 study on emotional granularity found that people who use more specific, nuanced emotional language are measurably faster at recovering from stress. Why? Because the high-impact words like rage trigger an outsized systemic physical reaction. The low-impact precise words tell your brain, this is a problem to be solved, not a threat to survive. You downgrade the emergency. We've stopped the physical motion and we've downgraded the internal verbal command. We must now address the root cause and anchor the recovery process. Final answer. We started with the paradox. The only way to win is to surrender to the silly, the trivial, and the precise. The final, most critical element to anchor your recovery is actionable step 3, the relentless 5% rule. Every trigger is fundamentally about one thing, the perceived gap between expectation and reality. The moment you are triggered, after you've stalled the hijack, the only question you ask yourself is, what is the 5% that is still good right now? The amygdala wants to paint the entire scene black. It wants you to believe the whole day, the whole relationship, the whole project is ruined. But it's never 100%. The 5% rule forces you to break the totalizing narrative. Maybe the 5% is the warm coffee in your hand, or the fact that you still have a job, or simply that you caught this trigger in the moment. By locating that 5%, you inject undeniable proof into your system that the danger is limited, not existential. Master the 10-second physical stop, the relabeling rule, and the relentless 5% rule, and you'll find that 3-minute window opens wide enough to walk through, not crash through. Do you want to know how often people miss this window? The average adult is triggered 3 to 5 times a day and misses it every single time. But now, you won't. If you found that 10-second physical stop the most useful, let me know in the comments below, and subscribe if you want more science-backed psychological shortcuts delivered directly to you every week.